Hi everyone, welcome back to another process video and week number 6 for Allison Davis's 4x6 sketch class. I am using for this week's sketch the Family Fun line by Simple Stories. I've actually done a few layouts with this, a few that actually I didn't record because I was in a crop room and didn't want to turn on my lights and things like that. Just for private personal reasons, I just didn't want to record them. But I'm really breaking through this kit quite a bit, and I'm pretty excited about that. But so I do apologize that I didn't record all of them, but you will see a couple of them coming up. And oh, the other reason I didn't record them is because I recently learned that I didn't know. If you've ever gone to the Simple Stories website, they have a gallery, and while not all their collections are on there, you can go to their gallery and they have it divided by collection. And there's sample ideas from their design team members. So I went there for this line and found like 3. And so 2 of them I basically completely copied. Not 100%, but you know what I mean. So again, I didn't really want to record it and put it out there as mine, even though anytime I copy somebody, I definitely, let you guys know that I'm scrap lifting somebody. But again, I was in a crop room and just didn't want to turn on my bright lights. If you know me, I don't wear makeup. I'm not somebody who gets dressed up for crops, even in person crops. I wear makeup for special occasions. In real life, none of that stuff is me. I don't like to do it. So if I turn on my bright lights, I don't always look the best because they shine right on me, and I don't really want to record with those lights off. I can try it sometime maybe and see if the lighting is, because I know my lighting's not 100% the best anyway. But anyways, I'm willing to try it if you guys are, don't care if it's a little bit darker screen. But this sketch has a bunch of kind of tilted, I guess you could say. Here you can see I'm kind of cutting them. I believe they're 2 inches. They have a bunch of these tilted strips and some 4x6 photos below, as you will see as I go along with my layout. And so I just cut a bunch of the strips. I didn't really plan out. I kind of went through the papers to see which ones looked good next to each other. And I'm kind of glad that I did that because I was originally thinking I would use that kind of more tilly blue, but I found this darker blue in my scraps, and I'm happy I did that because I think the teal colored one would not have looked as good. She does say in her sketch that these are at a 45-degree angle. Let me look. Yeah, I'm not really worrying too much about the angle. I did discover on my mat that there is kind of angle lines there, so I did try to kind of have them go along with that, but I'm not worried about it really. I just wanted them angled a little bit. I will say, because I'm doing a double page, and actually looking at it now, I probably could have made this the left-hand page. But if you're going to do the same thing, I think it would be easier to start on the left and then work to the right-hand side, which I'm actually going to make this my right-handed paper. And I don't know why I thought that it had to be the right-hand side. That's just kind of silly. But when it comes to lining them up, going from right to left on the paper, there are a couple spots that the papers don't go down. So the 4x6 photos at the bottom, I kind of marked it on both of the papers so that I would know where the papers would have to go down far enough so that you wouldn't be able to see any of the white cardstock. And there is like 2 spots that I'm going to miss, and you'll see as I'm working on the left-hand page now, you probably won't notice because it's such a small area, but I wanted to line these up and cut them together before gluing any more. And again, so just if you do this, go from left to right. It just will be easier on you. So here's where I'm like, oh, did I get that down far enough? And there is a tiny bit. But because on the sketch, she also has stars. She has stars going all along where the papers go. Here you can see is where I'm first like realizing, okay, I got to be a lot more careful with this. So you can cover up, and I end up eventually covering up. Honestly, as I started working with all the embellishments, I actually even forgot that I had put that there was holes where you could see the white cardstock. And I think it's between the pattern paper that my hand's on now and that blue strip in the star paper. So again, not that big of a deal, just something that might make your life a little easier is going from left to right instead of from right to left. Unless you are left-handed, then it would probably be the opposite. But yeah, I actually really like how this turned out. It's the next sketch, I think it's next week's sketch, is similar as far as like the clusters go, but I made my clusters different, and I actually made that layout a couple weeks ago, and this one I just did a few days ago. So just wanted to throw that out there. I didn't know how much I would have to fill in. Like I said, she has stars all along where the photos meet the pattern paper, but I'm not going to use stars. I'm going to go ahead and use the bowling embellishments that came with this collection. So that is why I basically pulled out this pattern paper, is I knew I had a lot of photos, and I knew since most of them are vertical and not horizontal. Quick note, by the way, you can see where the white cardstock shows through after I lay these two photos down, just in case you were wondering where they were. So yeah, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I think stars would be really neat. I thought about different shapes that I could use, but I also already had this collection out, and so I decided I would try filling it in with all the ephemera. I have a ton of ephemera. I, for some reason, ended up with two, I think, of these collection packs. Not the ephemera, but maybe actually, yeah. So I don't know. I think Michelle sent me some, and that's why I ended up having two. So anyways, I have a lot, and I really want to get it used up. It's not something I'm worried about using up because we are a very gaming type family. We do a lot of things. We just went golfing in the 90-degree weather the other day for my son's birthday. So, I mean, we do a lot of stuff. We've gone bowling multiple times. I have lots of bowling pictures and game pictures. So I'm not really worried about getting the stuff used up. I just kind of, I knew that I really wanted to put a good dent into this collection. I need to make some more space. I'm kind of at that point where you guys know I'm trying to shop better this year anyway, and I am trying to make more space where I keep my collections because it's full. And I'm like, I really shouldn't buy anything else anyway because it is full. So I'm even contemplating if Doodlebug comes out with if they come out with Halloween, I will get very little, if any, of it just because I have enough Halloween and my kids don't really do trick-or-treating anymore. And if they come out with Christmas, I don't know. I might not buy very much. So it'll be interesting to see, which will be really hard for me. So just some thoughts. I will apologize because I didn't realize my layout was so far to the left of the screen. It seems like if I move my camera, I get it situated to where my layout's fine, and then next thing I know, I'm off of the screen more on one side, so I move it that way, and then I'm off of the screen more the other way, and it gets a little bit annoying, so I do apologize. I don't think it's too bad throughout the video. At least you can see what I'm doing. So the other thing she has on her sketch is a 4x6 horizontal photo, and it's basically above the 4x6s that are on this side here, on the left-hand side. So I have one, and now you can see that one of the reasons I really love this 4x6 class is because you can do a lot of different things where the 4x6 photos go. So you can see I have some just 4x6 photos, but I also have some 3x4 photos. So if you don't have all 4x6 photos, you can add 2 3x4 photos in the spot, and it fills it in really well. The only thing I was struggling with was basically that 4x6 horizontal photo. I didn't have one. Oh, sorry, I apologize about that. So sorry, got a little distracted. I apologize. I just basically cut my photo down to 4x4, and it's of my son. So this was on his birthday. I think he was turning 9, I think. So it's 4 years ago or so. Yeah, and so I just instead of a 4x6, I went ahead and did 4x4, which is another thing that you can do if you don't have 4x6 photos. You can easily turn them into 4x4s. So, and if you're part of the group, there's lots of inspiration on there. So I've heard a lot of good things. If you didn't have time to join this class and want to join the next one, it's definitely helpful if you are somebody who likes to use sketches and really want to um, get more, help with using the sketches and different ways that you can use the sketches. So you can see basically that I'm adding all the bowling, ephemera pieces and different things along the edges of the photos. That does change a little bit, but there's also places where just a moment ago you might have noticed I cut down the ephemera pieces or the stickers. I'm just going to refer to them all as ephemera pieces because basically what I've done with this collection is I went through it all and I've divided it all up, all the stickers, all the ephemera, chipboard, even the brads. I divided it all up by the theme. So all the mini golf, all the board games, this is the bowling one. So yeah, I went ahead and did that with all the stuff so that when it came to doing layouts like this, I wouldn't, I don't really want to put board games on this bowling layout. So it just helps make it go a little bit easier. Now, there's a couple spots. The only thing I started noticing was that all of the bowling pins all of the ephemera has the same, like the bowling pins are shooting out to the right. So I'm even going to cut down some of the chipboard in some of the places and make it work for me so that they don't all look the same. Now, a second ago, this is a small piece of chipboard, and this was from a long time ago. I did one of the layouts. I think it was mini go-karts that we did. It's on my channel, but that chipboard piece was from that. And when you get one of their layout kits, the chipboard that comes in it is really thin chipboard. It's like just a thick sticker in my opinion. And sorry, I'm really trying to keep up my train of thought here as I go along. Oh, it had somebody told me the word once, but I'll never remember because my brain just doesn't work normal anymore. But it had those little, little parts when you punch something out of a paper or something. So I figured out the idea from watching T from the My Little Scrapbook Store design team. She has just one of those blocks that you might have seen me using a few minutes ago that is a nail file block. She uses those and kind of just gently goes around the piece and it takes off all of the little knobby things. It worked wonders. I'm so glad that I got one. That is like one of the best ideas I've seen. So if you hate those little knobby things and don't like sitting there cutting them each off individually, perfect idea for that. Just throwing that out there. So I decided because I didn't really know what to make the title. I wasn't really in the mood. I haven't been in the mood to make my own title letters lately. Oh, here's where I'm going to cut. See, this is a chipboard piece as well. And I just cut it off because I didn't want that many bowling balls. Bowling pins, I guess I should call those. So I cut one off and you'll see I'm just going to cover off where I cut it off, cover up where I cut it off, and you won't even notice. And it kind of helps so I don't have the exact same cluster going across the entire layout. And then I happened to glance over and I looked and saw this scrap of paper sitting to the left of me where I have my papers as I'm scrapbooking. and it has this bowling score sheet, and I loved this. I thought this would be perfect for filling in a lot of this empty space that is, so I don't have to have just bowling, 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 bowling pin, and a bunch of bowling balls. And I was looking through all the other ephemera to see, what kinds of different things. Here I'm going to look through the tags just to see if there's something else I can fussy cut or a tag I can use just to be a little different. Um, there was no bowling tags. I don't believe I remember there being any, which surprised me a little bit, but maybe I've used them already and don't remember. So, but anyways, I went ahead with the title Let's Bowl from there, and there was another sticker from, those sticker books that are kind of more that thinner sticker that I don't really care for. It had the word bowl, and I had it sitting there because it was the exact same size as that word bowl that's on there as well, but the colors were different, and like one of the colors was the dark blue, the same as the background of that. So I went ahead and decided just to not add that on there. Another thing that I've done a couple times lately, and it's nothing new, if people do it all the time, so you might say, oh yeah, I've done that before, but I've been watching Becky Adams a little bit. I took a travel class by her that she did for Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. And I took that to kind of get a little bit of out of my scrapbooking slump that I was in. And she tapes her double pages together when she works on them. Now, normally I work from one page and then I work to the next. So it's not something I will do all the time, but I've done it a couple times lately and I have actually enjoyed it. It makes it a little easier. And whatever ephemera pieces go across or paper, like that ticket piece I added, it crosses both the left-hand paper and the right-hand side. And because of that, I will just finish the layout, and when I'm all done, I will flip the whole thing over and just take my X-Acto knife or my box knife and cut through the middle of the paper, and it's super easy. If you need me to do a video to kind of explain what I'm saying a little more, let me know and I'm happy to do so. But another thing I'm doing here to kind of give the bowling pins a little different look is you can see I'm adding that one bowling pin chipboard. I think that's the one I cut off of the cluster. I added that to a sticker of 3. So that sticker has 3 of the bowling pins and I just glued it down, but the one bowling pin is kind of hidden behind the bowling score sheet. And then the other one I covered with that chipboard, and that's going over the bowling score sheet. So it gives just a little something more. And these bowling pins here are just straight up and down. So they're fine. They have a little bit different look, so I don't mind them as much either. So I'm going to add those here to this on this side. And yeah, I just tried to make sure that I spread around the colors. I spread around, like I didn't want all my sayings right next to each other. I didn't want all the bowling pins right next to each other. I didn't want all my stars right next to each other. You can see I've added a couple stars so far. And I am going to go back and add a few more stars. And this one, I'm purposely making the bowling pins go off the page and I'm going to trim those down. I don't know if you see me trim them down. I don't know if you do or not, but you can see it. You can see it in the still shot photos in the end, the final layout. So that kind of gives it a little bit different look. I add arrows all around. When I'm adding the arrows, I try to mix up the colors as well. So I didn't put, a teal arrow there. I think I had that green one there and I liked it, but it was a little too long. So I decided to go with the other 2 arrows. The other thing I'm trying to do is make sure this bowling pin that I just put down just now is a puffy sticker, because there was puffy stickers in this collection as well. So I tried to make sure that I had puffy stickers in a couple different locations, so there wasn't just one on the entire double page spread. And I think pretty much there's not much left to this layout. I know this is a long video, Some people don't mind those long videos, some people do, so I hope that you are one that doesn't mind the longer videos. I'm just trying to think. That's about it. I do add a couple stars around in different clusters just to help bring more of the colors around and to help kind of break up all the bowling stuff. And then you can see my journaling I have already typed up and put it on that 3x4 card just above the word or the title, Let's Bowl. And that's pretty much going to be my layout. So here is a couple of the close-up photos. I hope you guys enjoyed this layout. I've been enjoying this class, but I'm honest, I kind of don't like being on a set time crunch. Yeah, I can't think of the word. Oh, schedule, I think is the word that I'm trying to think of. But it's been fun doing the class anyway, and I will definitely join more of her classes in the future. So if you have any questions, please leave them below. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.